Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome to part 28 of my Malenyevist campaign here in Suzerain. Next up we got this private meeting with Visky. I heard a knock on the door. Mr. President, may I come in? So this is I think I'm going to be okay this particular playthrough, but this was kind of choking me up a little bit when we did this in the live stream. I'm guessing that this is the scene where it determines what you're going to be remembered as, kind of, or sort of early, in terms of like getting an achievement. Yes, David, please come in.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for your time.
Anything for you, David.
I wanted to ask you how you are doing.
Honestly, I am tired, David. I am tired of it all.
Oh, I know the feeling. Trust me, I know. Sometimes you just want to throw away all the responsibility and escape. Perhaps into the wilderness, perhaps into the sea.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? But I could never do that.
Unfortunately, men of power are bound by duty and their responsibility to the nation. It's been many years since you were in my classroom. If there's one thing I learned from you, it is that power changes people. It makes them do things that were not imaginable before.
I hope you're not trying to take a stab at me right now, David.
It's just a simple observation. Don't pay heed to this old man.
Coughed again, this time for longer. Overheard a conversation. Okay, here we go. We need them to call me a Malenyevist.
I overheard a conversation the other day near a newspaper stand. It piqued my interest, so I kept listening. They were talking about you. They were calling you a die-hard Malenyevist. What do you think about that?
They weren't wrong. I am a die-hard Malenyevist. Got it! Got the achievement! Yes! Boom!
My father, Artur Visky, used to say, always know yourself. It's good to know that you do. So, the elections are fast approaching. How are you feeling about your chances?
Can't say for sure, but I'm hopeful.
Good. That is what a leader should say. I'm afraid I have an announcement to make to you.
Why, what's wrong?
After the term is done, I will be retiring.
David, I can't accept this. You're irreplaceable in my cabinet.
I have been in this line of work for many decades now. I swore an oath to myself years ago. I would quit if I ever felt like I didn't have the physical capability to serve anymore. At that point, I would become a hindrance. That time has come, Mr. President. My bones are aching. My hands are shaking. My voice is failing. Besides, I'm sure you can find a younger minister who is a little more full of life.
He winked at me and chuckled, which turned into another cough. You have been a mentor, a teacher, and a friend. I thank you for your service to this country.
It was an honor, Mr. President.
I'm gonna give him a hug.
Best of luck, Anton. Thank you.
Well, that's the way it goes. At least we have him until the end of turn. President impeachment trial date left. Oh man, trial set. Witness reliability is being called into question. There's reason to believe many government officials asked to provide evidence against Rain have personal vendettas against the president or were bribed by Rain's enemies to give false testimony. This trial is nothing but a sham meant to bring an ignoble end to the best presidency Swordland has ever had. President to be dethroned. People's Front is coming strong. Shortish Prime Minister is retired. Damn. Oh, man. Friday afternoon in the office. Mr. President, there's a problem. What kind of problem? Some cabinet members said they wanted to speak with you urgently. They are in the White Room. Please follow me. I was just told to come get you, sir. Kiara and Neo were standing near the table with their arms crossed. Simon was sitting, playing with the pin in front of him. Pascal looked incredibly stressed. He wiped off his sweat. What's going on here? Mr. President, all cut to the chase. We're here to let you know we are handing you our resignations. Whoa, let's calm down. We can work something out. I'm afraid we can't calm down. I'm sorry, Mr. President, but this is the end of the road. We simply cannot go on anymore after what happened. What are your reasons? I suppose we owe you an explanation. The reforms. How you deceived your cabinet and your entire country? I brought reforms when no one else could. By giving yourself more power? By exploiting the law? You are delusional. We can fix our mistakes if we work together. It's too late. Even though you acted against the epidemic which saved millions of swords, I cannot and will not stand with your abuse of power. The things you did behind closed doors shook me to my bones when the news came to my knowledge. You may have had your reasons, Mr. President. That is for the greater good. But the same line of reasoning will simply lead to more atrocious actions. I will hand you my resignation once our term is done, Mr. President. I'm afraid I find myself too ideologically different to work as the Minister of Economy for this government. The decisions we made have proven that to me. I know when to leave my seat. I will resign at the end of our term. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to work with you. This is weird because Simon's been happy about the economic growth, but it's just like, I enjoy the free market, but the free market failed, which is weird. So logically, I have to resign. And that's just how it is. It's a little strange. Likewise, Mr. President. Yeah, it's such a what a fine way to resign. It's just I have no choice but to accept your resignations. Chiara was too radical for this country anyway. Neo was a great Minister of Justice with a good track record. Mr. Hull achieved the great economic miracle, but still decided to leave. It will be a saddening loss for the administration. Pascal's heart was at the right place, and it's sad that he is leaving. People come and go. Such is life. Well, shoot. Let's look at the judiciary. Yeah, so I guess my cabinet's stronger than ever. I get to appoint a new one or whatever. Yeah. Huh. Yep, all the resignations. Uh-oh. Ways of resignations. It's going to cripple the election chances. Future of Rain's cabinet. It's going to have a major impact on them. Who's on Rain's side now? Dinner at home. There were more guards than usual. Hi, Papa. Hug her. Where's your mother? She's in the kitchen. I gotta do homework before dinner. Hug her from behind. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Sorry, Anton. I guess I've been on edge lately. Why don't you go fix yourself a drink? I'll let you know when dinner's ready. I sat down in the living room, poured myself a bit of whiskey, and flipped through one of Monica's women's magazines. It took me a second to realize Monica herself was on the cover. The headline, Swordland's Woman of the Year. I almost forget that. Frank never took his studies so seriously. He does now. Papa, are we bourgeois pigs? What? Fuck you, Frank. That's it. I'm done trying to be nice with Frank. You're a little bitch. Not if I have anything to do with it. Shit. I am the revolution. I am a revolutionary. Anyway, dinner's ready. Raise your glass. The past 4 years have been hard on all of us. I was so busy worrying about the needs of the Sortish people that I sometimes forgot about Sortland's most important people. My own wife and daughter. Or, yeah, I'm so proud of us for getting it through all together. Let's say that. We deserve to celebrate. Monica's eyes were shining. Once the election's over, I'm taking you both on holiday. Monica sighed heavily. I think you should quit politics, not just drop out of the election. Retire. What? Why? With everything that's happened, I don't think you belong in government. And every day you stay there gives your opponents more chances to smear your reputation and ours. They've been making fun of me at school because you, Papa. Sorry, Monica, I've got to keep going. You never did know when to give up. Of course. I finished in silence. I still had work to do. Okay, what's this? Hope is not lost. The CPS leader, Dennis Stoller, made a speech to the crowd. They can never silence us. This year, CPS will form the government, and I will transform this nation. That might be a slight bug. He's not the head of the party anymore. Sometime later. Oh, no. Oh, no. Am I going to be impeached? Is this it? Is this game over? I think this is game over. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I think this game might have just suddenly ended. I didn't even see what I was being accused of, and from what I was looking at online, because I was also sometimes checking in between, I think that there was like a bug with what is causing the impeachment. Oh, here we go. It's starting now. Oh man, I don't know what to do. It's like I'm looking it up. I don't know. I'm seeing, let's see, I'm just finding, I don't know. Oh, when I'm looking online, I'm just seeing people complaining about impeachment. Yeah, that, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about a trial online. What is triggering this? Is this bugged? Because from what I'm seeing, it's bugged. Let's see here. Let me also double check who the hell has me on trial anyway. No, it's country overview I need. The law. The president is impeachable by the court. I chose the court! Well, hopefully that's a good thing then. It's my court. I took a deep breath and opened the grand doors leading to the Supreme Court. There were no camera flashes this time, no journalists or reporters. Nobody was allowed in the courtroom except the people related to my case. The attendees watched me quietly as I walked down the aisle to the defendant's table. Take a seat. I took a seat and everyone followed suit. A quiet chatter began in the courtroom. I just everyone rose for the judges. Rise up from your seat. I rose up from my seat. The Supreme Court justices entered and took their seats one by one. I looked at Chief Justice Ovid Gretcher. After he was seated, he pulled out his reading glasses and quickly rifled through the documents in front of him. He put down the papers and looked at me. This court is now in session. You may be seated. I call the case of the impeachment charges against the President of Swordland. The case number is 385372. This case will proceed as follows. Both parties will have the opportunity to present their evidence. The prosecution will be called upon first, followed by the defendant. After both parties present their claims, the court will present its final verdict on this case. This court now summons Lucien Gillade to present his evidence. That's it. I'm screwed. I'm screwed. Thank you, Your Honor. I'm screwed. You too, Lucien? Yes, Mr. President. Me too. Your Honor, dear attendees. That's it. I'm done. It's over. It is 100% over. Oh, man. Some of the orders he gave me were completely atrocious and utterly underdramatic. Unfortunately, I had no choice but to obey. The president told me that if I failed to carry out his orders, my life would be in danger. Your Honor, objection. That's lies. He's lying. His underhanded criminal ways are certainly grounds for impeachment. Today, I wish to cleanse my consciousness by aiding in the removal of this rogue president from his post. Tumultuous event. The killing of Bernard Circus. I was illegally funding the Red Youth. I'm saying I was funding Bennett. There was a secret backroom meeting in Conrad with Conrad. Yeah, he's just getting he's letting everything out. skewing the media. I beg Mr. Ray not to accept. You motherfucker! You motherfucker! Your Honor, objection. Overruled. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Yep, it's over. I heard Lucien's voice begging me not to accept Marcel's deal and myself angrily overriding him. This definitely wasn't how it had happened. Providing false evidence is a crime, Lucien. Silence! Oh, man. You may leave. I would like to have a closing word. This man cannot be allowed to be president of Swordland. The evidence is clear. We need to uphold the law. I have full confidence this court will bring Anton Rain to justice. How long have you been planning this? Oh, man. All evidence has now been processed. What do you have to say for yourself? I deny all of this. This is all ploy to end my presidency, and I will not accept a guilty verdict. Oh, I don't like any of these. It doesn't matter. There's no evidence for conspiracy. The evidence has been placed in clear and irrefutable. Yep. Where did it all gone wrong? Where were the justices? That's it. It's done. It's over. Finished. Yep. Game over. Motherfucking Lucien. It's because Peter, I was trying to just arrest... that's where it all must have gone wrong, is when I just arrested Livia. I thought that I would still be able to do the thing at the press conference with Peter. That's it. Game over. Wow. The gavel was tapped 2 times, and Ovid Gretcher demanded silence in the loud room. After a long pause, he ordered everyone to rise. One of his retainers handed him the letter with the verdict. Ovid opened it with a stirred face, knowing what was coming next, that you felt that you did your best for Swordland, no matter what. God, I'm so upset right now. I actually really am. God, why don't we have fucking save files in this game? Why is some of the stuff not so clear? God. The next word you heard is hereby decided that Anton Rain is impeached from office. The crowd in the courtroom, the very same people who celebrated your inauguration, erupted in loud cheers. You thought about how you would go down in history as the first impeached president of Swordland. But the judge wasn't done speaking. For the magnitude of his crimes against Swordland, Anton Rain is sentenced to life in prison. The crowd cheered even louder this time. Security officers grabbed your arms and started walking you towards the door. As you were walking, you worried about the future of your family. Your cell was cold. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Downfall. Your cell was cold and lonely. The only decorations you put on the damp, dark walls were photos of Frank and Deanna. For a while, reading was the only thing you could do. After finishing the precious book sent by Monica, you kept yourself busy by writing your own memoir. Meanwhile, your family visited you in jail at least once a month. Time flies in jail. 1964. Frank visited you for the first time in years, bringing along his wife and son. They reminded you of your own family in better times. You held your grandson for the first time. He squirmed and started crying in your arms. Frank told you that he joined the ranks of the Communist Party of Swordland. I'm going to congratulate him. This is the last nice thing I'm ever going to do for Frank, because he's a little bitch. That's it. Never again in any playthrough. 1968. It had been months since Monica's last visit. In the middle of the night, the warden knocked roughly on your door and told you had visitors. Frank, his wife and Deanna were waiting for you with teary eyes. Something was wrong. Oh my gosh, she died and they didn't tell me. Seeing you, Deanna quickly turned around, hiding her face. Frank couldn't hold his tears anymore and told you that his mother passed away. His mother, your wife, Monica. You were overcome with grief. You returned to your cell, numb and exhausted. Every passing second was torture as you rotted away in this dark, isolated hellhole. Lying down on your bed, you looked at your belt and the metal pipe in the ceiling. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Suicide's bad, people. You spent the rest of your life between 4 walls. Eventually, old age caught up with you. You were discharged from prison to the hospital to spend your last moments with your family. As you took your last breath, you grabbed Frank and Deanna. He pulled them close and said, I am sorry. Frank and Deanna started crying and hugged you. You could feel you were slipping away. Your eyes filled with tears and started to close, never to be opened again. And so Anton Rain was no more. Well, I got the impeachment achievement. History will remember you as Malenyevist. You know what? Okay, obviously the one thing I did was wrong was save Peter, but I gotta say this is I'm very happy with how this ended. I wanted to try to be exactly right here on this line, and I think if I had been democratically elected to a second term, that would have sealed the deal for me. So except for the saving Peter thing, I think that this was pretty much as close to a perfect run as you could possibly get for being a Malenyevist. So let's do the review. Anton Rain, 4th President of Swordland, in office from 1954 to 1958. Vice President Peter Vectern, preceded by Ewald Alfonso, succeeded by Peter Vectern. My personal details, we know this stuff. So let's do a compare and contrast here. Yeah, I'm basically, but now Peter's in charge. That's the only thing that went wrong. So these are the other various politicians to compare with. So between 1954 and 1958, 2.2 million people found a job. There were 82% less maternal deaths recorded. During the protests, 2 billion ren's worth of public property damage was done, and 821 arrests were made. 779 people were killed during the clashes between the Red Youth and Young Swords. 6,894 military personnel were forcibly retired. 4,390 people with Bloods descent were jailed. 559 were killed. That didn't have anything to do with me. 328 people disappeared without a trace. 614,470 women joined the workforce. 805,380 girls were enrolled at secondary education for the first time. 13,142 businesses were founded. Private assets worth 5 billion Swedish ren were seized by the state. So, yeah, it looks like in the end, we were Bernard Circus here. We were just a little bit more authoritarian than him. But again, yeah, this is basically exactly where I wanted to be. Just like with before when I was almost right on top of Artur Vesky. Oh, I was so happy. It was perfect, pretty much. Manoli Suhiel. Is this another bloodish politician, I think? Yeah, and like here's the head of the Communist Party. Here's Leaky, There's Sol. Yeah, this is exactly where I wanted to be. Pretty much opposite Alfonso. Yeah, basically exactly opposite of Alfonso, my predecessor. Yep, the one mistake was Peter, keeping him as VP, but otherwise a perfect run, I think. As I was certainly going to get reelected, Lilius wasn't going to run against me. Yeah. Well, I hope that you all enjoyed this series, and I'm definitely going to revisit it again. I think in the future when I revisit it, I'll just do it via live streams, because those are really fun for this game. But this was definitely one of my favorite campaigns I've done on the channel. It's always nice to get away from grand strategy and try other things like this, which was really, really enjoyable. So thank you very much for joining me. I'm Conquering History Games, and let's go ahead and hit finish. I think that's it. I think it just takes me back to the main menu. But yeah, it was really, really wonderful playing the game. And just let the credits roll. So I guess obviously the question is, what am I going to do next? So the way I see it, there's maybe 3 major types of run to still do. And the thing is, I am an achievement whore. But I guess fundamentally there's really only 2 types that I still want to do. I want to do a soulless run, where I've already got ideas of some other achievements I want to go. So like if I do a soulless run, One thing I'm thinking is I want to do a thing where I am like being a neo-solist. I think that's what you'll be called. But I'm gonna have him killed because like I'm the new authoritarian, and so I gotta kill the old authoritarian to end his legacy and make myself the new guy, the guy, you know. And I also want to do a hardcore capitalist free market run. So I guess that would mean, you know, like full privatization, working with Arcasia, and things like that. I'd have to review the achievement list to really lock down with it. Yeah, like also for example, the Solus run. The Solus run is one where I would really, really, really want to emphasize trying to defeat Rumberg in a war. And like the capitalist one, I don't know, maybe we would go to war, maybe we wouldn't, but you know, I'd like to at some point get the achievement for that, and things like that. But we got a whole lot of achievements in this run. Like let me kind of actually try to check my Steam page here. So it looks like, let's see here. What did I do? When did I start this? In April? So it looks like these are the achievements I got for the first time. I got donations, an offer you can't refuse, shush, Volkslandian vodka. Wait, hold on, I miscounted. Wait. Donations, an offer you cannot refuse, shush, Volkslandian vodka, by any means necessary. United Against Capitalism, Revolutionary Generation. Then Impeached, Rightful Claim, End of an Era, Malenyevist, and Swordish Economic Recovery. So I got, like, what was that, 12, 13 different achievements, and yet that's still only 38% total that I have. So yeah, definitely ones that I want to do in the future are like with the if I do the capitalist, I could probably get the one like Rags to Riches, where you got to have at least 5 personal wealth. I was never above 4, I think. You know, there's a playthrough I'll have to do one where I think like my wife leaves me. I've never actually done alliances with any of the other parties, but I probably should do that at some point for the achievements. But I'm noticing here in the achievements there's an achievement for being a Solus, but there's also an achievement for being an authoritarian. So apparently those are different things technically, because there's also capitalist. I don't know. Hold on a second. It says I don't have the achievement for opening the highway or the railway. I've done both of those things. Weird. Huh. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. Also, I've never been assassinated. So, as I said at the beginning of this this campaign, I figured even if I lost at the end, which I did, I got impeached. Fucking Lucian shit. What a twist at the very end. But the even if I lost, it's just getting achievements, right? So we'll get that perfect run one day. But once more, thanks for joining me. I'm Conquering History Games, and I'll see you all next time. And please be sure to subscribe if you have not already. I'm not sure why you wouldn't be subscribed if you've gotten this far. But, you know, and watch some of the other stuff on my channel. I hope you all enjoy it. Have a great day.